So, there's been some talk lately about how some school districts or even entire states are trying to ban social emotional learning from the public school system. And my question, actually, I have a lot of questions, is do these legislators and parents and individuals who are pushing this really understand what is happening in schools right now? So, I want to take some time and go over some of the key points to consider when it comes to whether or not social emotional learning skills should actually be taught in our schools. My name's Elizabeth Peterson, and I've been a classroom teacher for over 23 years, and I love what I do. I get to instruct and inspire students every day in their math and language lessons, in their science and social studies activities, and as arts integration specialist, I'm able to help students dig deep into the curriculum in hands-on and creative ways. And yes, that even includes social emotional learning skills. Well, in the last decade or so, there have been an obvious growing need in our students. Their anxiety is ramped up, depression seems to be more and more common, and the need to focus on social emotional skills has just been so obvious to so many teachers. And that brings me to my first key point. There is a definite need for social emotional learning for our students right now. And those needs have been growing for over a decade. Whether you want to blame social media, declining morals, taking play out of kindergarten, or society at large, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that kids are coming to us with more anxiety and stress and just this lack of social emotional skills. And this was happening way before the pandemic was even a thought. This has been something that has been concerning teachers and educators for many, many years. And it's been seen in all communities at all different grade levels across the country. So what even is social emotional learning? Let's dig into that for just a second. SEL at its core is about helping students to understand their own feelings about things and be able to express those feelings in a very healthy way. It's about being able to see other people's perspectives and have some empathy and show kindness towards others. It's about working and collaborating with others who may or may not have the same viewpoint as you and helping those students to make the right decisions that are healthy for them. Decisions could be as small as time management to figuring out the best way to act in a tricky situation on the playground. The simple fact is that students are lacking these skills and they need them in school. And so school becomes a place where they can learn some of these ever important skills and practice them as well. There's one main argument that so many people go to when they want to talk about taking SEL out of the schools, and that is that they want those types of skills to be taught at home and not at school. That school should just be a place for academic learning. But here's the thing. There are a variety of reasons that these skills are not being taught at the home. Reasons that many people may not even realize or understand, and that's okay. Every home is different and each student comes from a unique home situation. And even when these social emotional skills are taught at home, school is just a different environment that allows for so many opportunities for students to try new things and make mistakes and learn from them. And isn't that a good thing? Like, doesn't that allow kids to grow and utilize those skills even more? So here's my second key point that we need to remember when we're considering taking SEL out of the schools. We are a team. And it does take a village to raise a child. Parents, teachers, counselors, administrators, the entire education community has a place in instructing and teaching students and helping them become the beautiful individual that they're meant to be. So can't we teachers be part of that team? And don't those social emotional skills play a real big part in that learning? So a big bone of contention is about the programs that teach these skills. And quite honestly, if we look at some of the proposed legislation, you'll notice that it's about banning the actual SEL programs from the curriculum altogether. Now, some could argue that in some schools, things are getting so bad that we need a curriculum that takes things step by step for students to learn these skills. My stance on this is that the social emotional skills should be integrated into all that we do and teach, and that the skills and strategies can and should be embedded into each and every class period. That's what SEL is based on, an integrated approach to helping students develop their social emotional skills through creativity and the arts. So what do you think? Should a school invest in an SEL program that teaches SEL lesson by lesson, or should it be a more integrated approach? Let me know in the comments. But programs aside, let's take a look at the third key point to look at when we consider SEL in the school: the teachers. The most important part of any classroom. Teachers deserve professional development in how to deal appropriately with certain social emotional issues that are going to occur. Hear me on this, they are going to occur in their classrooms. If you don't provide teachers with some kind of training in social emotional learning, problems are going to happen. And not to mention, teacher burnout is going to skyrocket, even more than it already has. In SEL, we put the teacher first because the teacher's role in the classroom is of the utmost importance. In our courses, we spend time looking at our approach in the classroom and how what we do affects our students. SEL teaches proactive strategies that teachers can use to help their students. And we learn how to take care of ourselves too, so that we can be the best we can be for our students. So recently I read in Newsweek that in Indiana, the Attorney General said that SEL programs represent a fundamental shift in the role of teachers from educators to therapists. But that's just not true. In fact, I even address this when I tell people about the SEL Foundations course. We are not therapists. But see, teachers are the first people to interact with students, and there are skills that we teachers need to develop to help our students. It's really just about being on top of the current skills needed in our profession. We also know when things are over our capabilities, and that's when we refer our students to the therapists and counselors that are inside our school community. But let's get back to the issue at hand. It seems that people are having issues with teachers actually teaching social and emotional skills to their students. And here's the thing that really makes me nervous. There's verbiage that has been used in proposed legislations that says basically teachers will not be allowed to teach SEL in their classrooms. And what makes me so nervous is that I wonder what is going to start happening when teachers are actually guiding students through a crisis or helping them navigate a tough situation, or use any number of skills or strategies that are considered social emotional skills. Really, it may sound ridiculous, but it actually makes me wonder, what is going to happen to teachers who are doing their job, which is helping and guiding kids? Do you wonder that too? Let me know in the comments. The bottom line is you cannot simply take social emotional learning out of schools. Social emotional skills have been taught in the schools since education's conception, from learning manners and the golden rule from within a one-room schoolhouse to making bulletin boards in the classroom of how to spread kindness like confetti. These are the skills that will carry our kids through life. And what better way and place to practice these social emotional skills than with their peers, under the guidance of their trusted teacher, and in the safe community of the classroom. So what are your thoughts? Should social emotional skills be taught in school, or should they be banned from public education altogether? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and let's start having a real discussion.